I guess, what was your first memory of football and what made you sort of go into it, really?
So in 2018, my sister started playing, and I was a dancer for would have been 14 years at that point. And I got a bit jealous that she started, so I wanted to start as well. And then pretty much gave it a go. COVID hit, I couldn't dance anymore. But then when we came out of lockdown, got into footy, and then kicked off from there, which is really interesting.
So I guess from that, obviously, how much local football did you play before Stingrays? How much, what did you?
I think 2019 was my first local year, 2018, 2019. And then I did a few interleagues, I did V-line and didn't get picked up for Stingrays then. But then in 2022, as my top age year, I got picked up for Stingrays and then played over age in 2023 as well.
Yeah, so obviously coming through that top age as your first year, what was that like for you stepping up from local or interleague up until that program?
It was definitely a big shift in terms of talent, but it was really good having that elite coaching. I think to pursue footy as it was becoming my dream to play AFL and turn it into a career, it was really good to have that coaching from the Stingrays team, because at the local level it was still developing, and at training sometimes you'd get 4 girls rocking up, so it wasn't really too big as of yet, but it's been awesome to have that development.
Then obviously at the end of the top age year, most girls are sort of looking to the draft and things like that. What was it like for you, because you're a relative newcomer at that stage?
Yeah, I think my first year at Rays, there wasn't too much exposure of me and I didn't really have too much interest. But then my overage year, there were some clubs were interested, and from there didn't get picked up and have been playing at, formerly the Southern Saints, but now the Sandringham Zebras, which has been great.
I mean, I guess the decision then, post-draft, to continue to go into the Stingrays or to go to a VFLW club, or obviously did a little bit of both, that top age, overage year. So what was the decision behind, I guess, returning to the Stingrays with the VFLW?
I think it was a decision made by the coaches at the Stingrays as well as Southern Saints, because I was training with the Southern Saints in 2022, I think, but I didn't play. It was just kind of like a train on while I was playing Coates League to get some experience, but it was good having the bigger bodies for VFL developing in that aspect rather than Coates League. It was a very different game, so it was good having a balance of both. And then transitioning fully to the club after I finished with Stingrays was a lot easier because I had already been training there for a few years.
And how did you sort of find that extra year at the Stingrays, obviously having that experience, being that year older than a lot of them? What was that like for you, being able to play through that team, having that extra experience?
It was really good. I think it allowed me to use my voice and use my leadership a bit, being that older player, I suppose. And I've started off the first 5 rounds playing Stingrays. I think I went to VFL, then I came back again. So the club was really good, allowing me to do both and juggle both. And it made it for a really good experience.
At that time, when you're coming through, did you have, I guess, the experience of having an agent or things like that? Did you know much about that kind of thing, or you just basically running solo, yeah?
Running solo pretty much until that point. It wasn't until the end of my Coates League era where I did find an agent, and then, we've been working together. Haven't really done too much, but I do now have representation, which is nice.
So, I mean, I guess from that, what is it once you do miss out on the draft, you go to the VFLW, what is it, I guess, you do particularly in that sense to keep yourself in the eyes of recruiters? What kind of relationship does that have with an agent or the clubs themselves?
it's been great. I've had train-on opportunities at St Kilda for 2 years, and then this year I was asked by Richmond to train on with them. So it's been good having my agent to just expose me to different clubs. I've been able to develop as a player. This year it's been awesome training with, you know, the likes of Mon Conti and Ellie McKenzie in the midfield, 2 stars I look up to so much. So it's been great.
And I guess then too, like coming from the Southern Saints and obviously the Zebras, the same club but without that tie, what was that like sort of at that time? Because obviously you're tied to them and now obviously train on Richmond, like that kind of thing. What was that kind of transitional period like for you being a part of that club?
I think it very much stayed the same in terms of the whole branding of the club. I suppose we did change our name. We did have a few coaching positions change up, and we did have a lot of new players coming through. It was great for the alignment. We had a lot of AFL girls training with us pre-season, so it felt like it was a one club kind of thing. And they played quite a few games in the VFL season as well with us, so that, you know, correlation between the AFL VFL was really great.
And in terms of, I guess, the role transition, because clearly Stingrays, you're more of the forward ruck type thing, and you've kind of gradually developed more into that mid role. What's that sort of been like for you transitioning that much?
Well, I started playing in juniors as a midfielder, so midfield was always my predominant position. And then when I played V-line, I was a backliner. And when Stingrays took me, they started me off as a backliner for a few weeks, and then they wanted to transition me forward. So I became that tall forward target. And I did a little bit of rucking as well. Having that height, I suppose, you know, allowed me to be able to ruck. And then my second year of Stingrays, I still played forward, but mostly in the midfield. They transitioned me into the mid, but at VFL that year when I was playing, I was also playing as a tall forward. So I was doing mid at Coates, tall forward at VFL to break it up. And then it wasn't until a year later, so 2024, last year, where I fully transitioned to be a midfielder. Still learning the craft, and I suppose this year with the help of all of my coaches, especially my line coach, has really helped me to become a predominant midfielder.
Yeah, perfect. Is that your preferred position now? Like, is that what you enjoy the most, or?
Yeah, I feel like I'm a very in and under player, very physical, very contested ball. So I suppose midfield is that position that ticks those boxes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how have you found like 2025 as a whole? Like now that the season's over, how do you sort of, I guess, rate your year, and how did you sort of find the season?
The season was a great season. I wish that we took it further in terms of finals. We made the first round but got knocked out. I feel like we definitely did have the talent and the skills there, but it just didn't turn out on the day, unfortunately, against Williamstown. But overall, it was a great year because we hadn't made finals the last few years that I had been there anyway. So it was great to see that development. Personally, it was great to learn a lot of the midfield craft. As I said before, Andy, my coach, I wouldn't have been able to do it without him. Yeah, he was our midfield line coach. He would stay back with me after training for hours. Sometimes we were there until 11 p.m. just talking about all the craft. Yeah, he was really great.
Yeah, and what does, I guess, a regular training week look like for you?
So at the club, we were there for 2 to 3 sessions a week. So in season, it was just 2 and then the game on the weekend. But pre-season, it was either 2 or 3 in-person training sessions. We have our gym, which was about 3 gyms a week. We had our running program, which was 2 to 3 running sessions. And then obviously getting in our fundamentals as well. So we were always doing something. Yeah.
Have you noticed that it's like increased, like in terms of, are you finding that it's more of a heavier load than what it perhaps when you first started a few years ago, or do you think it's around the same? Or
I think it is. I think a few years ago I wasn't training like an athlete, I suppose. Like I would go to the gym and I'd do my running, but it wasn't specifics to like say football and being like a midfielder where you have to, you know, sprint, run. So the programs have become a lot more specific for my role, and that's really helped me gain that, you know, speed, that power, but also that endurance for a midfielder.
And like with those training plans, is that like catered to each individual person, or like with within the different groups like midfielders, forwards, backs, that kind of thing?
Yeah, it can be. I have a personal PT at my gym that I go to, so they provide me with my strength and power sessions, and then I follow the club's running sessions as well. So it's a bit of balance, and the club really supports that, and they talk to, you know, your PTs and make sure it's all in alignment and whatnot. So yeah.
Awesome. In terms of your game, what do you sort of see as your strengths at the moment?
My strengths would be my contested ball work and my physicality. I think being a bigger bodied midfielder definitely helps me with my physicality.
Awesome. And what are you looking to improve on at the moment?
Probably my short kicking targets and like efficiency when I'm, you know, looking for those short 45s.
Yeah, awesome. And what do you reckon current day Abbey does that's different to, I guess, Stingrays Abbey? Well, what do you think you do differently to them?
Oh, that's a great question. I think, as I touched on before, training more like an athlete rather than just going to the gym or going for runs just because. Also looking after my body more, so prioritizing like recovery, making sure I'm fueling my body right. I remember I never used to eat before trainings back in the Stingrays days, and I didn't realize how much importance that actually has on your performance. So definitely just touching on the little things, like the 1%ers that really help you develop as a player.
And I guess then over the journey, you mentioned you have had contact with AFLW clubs at different points. Mm-hmm. What has that experience been like for you? Have you sort of found it? Is it just sort of like off the cuff kind of conversations? Do you have anything more serious, like in terms of just, I guess, the involvement you've had over the time?
So I have had involvements with the interviews and whatnot in 2023 with clubs, and it was kind of like a backup pick, I suppose. So if someone was to be taken before me, then clubs were gonna potentially take me. And it quietened down over last year a little bit. I didn't hear too much, but now this year again, it's starting to pick up, which is nice.
And I guess then following on to that, obviously it's kind of pretty obvious, but you still got that dream to reach the top level.
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
Yeah? What would it mean to achieve that goal?
It'd be pretty cool. My dad played in the under-19s for St Kilda, and we've always followed them. So the passion and drive I have towards footy stems from him, which would just be a dream. But my competitiveness and my drive, I suppose, is something that really leads me to keep following this dream.
Yeah, awesome. And is there a player at the top level that you kind of model your game on, or?
Well, I suppose training with Mon Conti, she's amazing. She's a midfielder that just impresses me every time I watch her and train with her. I also love Ashley Saint. She plays at Port Adelaide, and I really admire her football as well.
Yeah, awesome. And I guess the other element is now it being a national draft. Have you thought about that possibility of relocating?
Yeah, absolutely. A few years ago, I wouldn't have looked at doing that, but I'm 21 now, and I would definitely move into state to play footy.
Yeah, awesome. And I guess then off the field, what is it that you kind of do when it's not footy?
Great question. Nothing. Just kidding. Well, I love being active and I love health and well-being. So I do, a lot of work around that. I also love creating like content. So I do a lot of social media about fitness and footy and people like-minded. I love interacting with them. So I do a lot of modelling, and that is very fun. That ties into footy a lot because a lot of it's fitness based, so working with brands that align with me is really cool.
Yeah, awesome. And I mean, I guess for players who might be in the same boat, how do you sort of get into it, I guess? Like if there's like other players out there that might want to take the same path, how did you sort of engage or get into that kind of line of work?
I suppose your portfolio a lot these days is online, so my Instagram is my portfolio, I suppose, and brands can reach out, they'll see you posting. A lot of my stuff is, you know, gym, fitness, food, etc. So people just find you and reach out to brands because they're not gonna see you if, you know, you're not really posting or reaching out. So just take ownership of it, really.
Oh, so you literally, like, you just sort of post about it and they'll come to you more so than you have to go to. That's pretty.
Sometimes,
that's good.
yeah.
So you don't have to do as much. I was thinking you have to reach out to everyone.
No.
That's really cool. Yeah. So I guess going forward, then, how do you sort of see, or what would be your ideal kind of life from here? Like, where do you sort of see yourself going, be it footy, be it life? Like, what is it you want to be with over the next few years and going forward?
I'd love to chase that AFL goal. I would love to make that a career and really prioritise that. So definitely in that industry. And then I'd love to teach people in some sort of way about health and fitness. I really love that, and I can talk about that all day. So in some aspects, whether that's, you know, personal training or going into some sort of coaching, I would really love to aspire to do that.
Have you done any like degrees or looking to do anything like that, or is there anything along those lines?
Yeah, I'm in the middle of my teaching degree, so I'm taking the rest of the year off at the moment, but that is like a long-term goal, I suppose, going into the teaching realm. But for now, I love focusing on all my health and wellness.
Yeah, awesome. Well, yeah, I guess otherwise it's just how are you sort of feeling about the potential to take the next step if you were to get drafted, things like that? How are you sort of feeling just sort of finishing off this year to your career to date, that kind of thing, just sort of wrapping everything up?
Yeah, I think whatever happens, happens. I have no expectations. I feel like anything could happen, lots of talks can be had, and I've just got to be happy with what I've got at the moment. And I'm loving my footy and I love playing for the Zebras, so whatever happens, happens, and I'll be happy.